Hey, how you doing? I'm Mike Klijanowicz. I'm an real estate agent with Cummings and Company Realtors. I'm actually an associate broker with Cummings and Company Realtors, and I've been in the business for about almost 20 years and have sold almost 1,000 homes. And what I wanted to do is I'm going to start putting together a list of frequently asked questions, along with just advice topics for buyers and sellers out there who are thinking of buying or selling a home, just to try to give them some information. And we'll call it some insider information from an agent who's been in the business for a pretty long time. Just so you know what everything is all about in this business. And so everybody is being completely transparent with you in terms of where money goes and who pays for what and how it all works. So, today, what I wanted to talk to you about is how to find and hire the right real estate agent for you. So, in my opinion, and I'm sure there's lots of other agents out there today who would agree with me, um, is the absolute best way is going to be to talk to your friends and your family and ask for a referral. And I can't tell you, I know you guys don't think about us all the time, and you don't think about real estate agents all the time, um, or you don't think about your handyman, your painters, your plumbers, your electricians, your HVAC guys, your hairdressers, your all the people who are self-employed. You don't think about them all the time, but they're always thinking about you and how they can serve you better and be there for you. So if any of you just take a minute out of your day and think about, who do I know who might be buying or selling a home, and who can I refer them to that comes to the top of my mind as the best agent in the world, and just do it. Like, I can't tell you how thankful that agent would be to get a referral from you, especially in today's market where, the market is a little tighter, it is a little different. Um, there's not as much inventory out there. Things are selling very quickly. And buyers are still having a hard time, even though rates are high. There's still a lot of buyers out there, but they're having a hard time finding the right house. But having the right agent who can get them in and get their contract accepted is kind of what the key is. So that's the number one source to find the right real estate agent. The second source is, and this is the one that I think is just the biggest mistake that people make, is they go online. Biggest mistake. You don't know what you're doing. You go online, and I'll just start calling them out here. You go to Realtor.com, you go to Homes.com, you go to Zillow.com, and you find a house that you like, you make an inquiry about it, and guess what? The agent who calls you is not the listing agent. Well, have you ever thought about how that actually works? Now, there's going to be some agents who are really pissed off right now that I'm going to just open the piggy bank and tell everybody what really happens. But this is what really happens. You have agents out there who don't even pay to get the lead themselves. They make deals with mortgage companies and with title companies who pay thousands of dollars every month for that agent, or that team who spends tens of thousands of dollars and even goes all over the place and brags about it in their advertising, how much money they spend on advertising, when it's really not even their money that they're spending on advertising. It's other people's money. It's lenders and title companies spending all this money so that when you click on the ad on Zillow or Homes.com, or it used to be Trulia, but I'll say Realtor.com, you click on any of those there, it's going to go to an agent that paid to get that lead. Now, why would a mortgage company or a title company pay thousands of dollars to an agent to get them business. Why? Ask yourself the question. It's not hard. And also, they pay thousands of dollars for client parties for the agent and thousands of dollars for taking them to the baseball games and everything else. They pay all this money because they expect that the agent is going to send them the business from these buyers. When they get these buyers, the agent's then going to send the buyers back to the mortgage company that paid for all these leads and send them and use the title company that paid for all these leads. Now, is it wrong? Probably not. Technically, because they have a signed formal marketing agreement and do it all, above board, that they make a formal marketing agreement that they're going to, have all this money. But I've seen agents go as far as having an office and renting out half of their office to a title company who builds an area for their title company to be in. And it's been years, and the title company hasn't even done one deal out of that office. Yet they're paying $2,700 or whatever a month towards the mortgage on the property that the agent's buying. This is the type of stuff that's going on in this industry, people. And this is why there's companies out there that get a lot of business from agents, and they go to all these fancy parties and everything because of the extortion going on out there. This is what's really going on. See, I don't use a lot of those companies. And I'll be honest with you, I used to be like that. And I used to sell so much. And I used to get so many leads from these companies. And I used to take thousands of dollars from all these people. But see, I finally realized that at the end of the day, my clients, my buyers, are not getting the best, absolute best deal that they could get in terms of rate, fees, services. It was an expectation to use these companies. That's what was so wrong about it. So when you click on these ads online, just know what you're really clicking on. You're signing up to be pawned off into a funneled system of who pays who and who kickbacks who for what. Now, you can't really call it a kickback because they call it a marketing agreement. But what I have a problem with is that none of this is disclosed to the consumer, to the buyer. The buyer has no idea. All they know is that the agent recommended XYZ mortgage broker and XYZ title company. But they never get told that I get $5,100 a month from this guy, and I get, $4,000 a month from this guy. That's a problem. And consumers need to know. So that's why I made this video. So now they do know. And the more people that share this video, the more people are going to find out about it. Now, there's two types of agents in this business, really. You have the mega teams and you have the individual agents. Now, the mega teams, I'm going to call them mega teams. I'll just throw them all into one. The teams are the ones that have groups of people. I'd say maybe, 4 or 5 or more at a minimum, where they group together, and some of them work with just buyers and some of them work with just sellers, and some of them work with buyers and sellers, and sometimes you get one person for one part of the transaction, you get another person for another part of the transaction. But a lot of these teams are I'll call them prey, Prey, of the mortgage brokers and the title companies who are looking to spend their cash to get buyers and sellers from, because the teams get more volume and more deals, and the bigger the team, the more volume they do. 300 homes a year, 400 homes a year, 1,200 homes a year. The more you do, the bigger your check every month. and none of it's disclosed to anybody till today. Um, so then you have the individual agents, and that's agents like myself, and there's a lot more individual agents out there. Um, and we compete, with these teams a lot. And some of us have a hard time. Some people have a hard time. I don't, because I just tell it like it is, and I just kind of read people and size them up and see if I want to work with them, because I know I'm not for everybody. And you know what though? Here's the other part of that. Everybody's not for me, you know. And there's a lot of agents out there in this business. They just get excited to get a client and put them in their car and drive them around and buy them lunch every day and pay gas and take that risk with insurance and everything else. But that's just not the way I do business. I wanna meet you, get to know you a little bit, know about your family, know about your kids, know about everything. What are you looking for in a house, or what are you hoping to get when you sell your property, and where are you hoping to go? What's your time frame look like? Let's have an honest conversation. In fact, when I show up to a listing appointment, I show up to a listing appointment. I used to show up in my fancy dancy suits, that I'd pay $3,000 to have a suit made just because I could, and I'd get my little signature on my sleeve and do all that because it looks fancy and looks like I'm flashy and everything. But now I'm just real. I'll be real. I was at a listing appointment dressed like this. There's nothing wrong with this because they're getting this and they're getting this. They're getting this and they're getting this. They're getting my brains and they're getting my heart. And that's where it's at. They're learning from me from day one when I meet with them, especially sellers. When I go to the house for a listing appointment, I'm not even bringing a listing agreement. I'm not pressuring anybody into signing anything with me. That's not the way I do business. If I called somebody to come over to my house and they said, "Well, I got this listing agreement," I say, "Thank you, get out." I'm not dealing with that. I'm not going to pressure people. I wouldn't want to be pressured myself. So that's just the way I do business. Um, but some key questions to ask to weed out some of this, because even with these super mega teams that are out there, the funniest part about it is you think you're getting the main person who runs the team, the big wig, the person whose face is on all the signs, all the advertising, all the everything. Well, here's the reality: they ain't coming to your listing appointment. They're just sitting back collecting the checks. They're running the show from the office. They're giving their little peons out there to go meet with you and run you around and show you properties and do all the busy work. You know, I mean, to me, that's all part of the building the relationship, and that's all part of the transaction. All the little things that are part of it, which is what I enjoy, which is meeting with the clients and doing that. But they'll send out somebody on their team who's young, they got motivation, they got work ethic, but they might only have 6 months in the business. So now you're getting an agent that you think you're getting this super experienced agent, but you're not. You're getting this agent that has 6 months on the road. And, I'm sorry, but that's just not enough time in this business to know all the problems that exist on transactions. Because every transaction proposes a different problem or a set of problems that come up. So, you want to have somebody experienced. Now, am I saying is it 5 years? Is it 10 years? Is it 15? Is it 20? I mean, there's no set number. It's just whatever you feel comfortable with. But just know the number. How many years have you been in the business? It'll tell you, has this person been through the rough markets? When I got in 05, things were like it is, 2 years ago. Flying off the market. You don't have to do any work whatsoever. You put a sign in the ground, it's gone. And it's going for over asking price. Anybody can sell in that market. Even a monkey from a zoo could do it, you know. But what happened in '08 when we had short sales, we had foreclosures, We had a distressed market where nobody could buy or sell anything. You had to learn that. You better learn short sales if you don't know short sales, because you're going to be Mr. and Mrs. Short Sale for the next 2, 3 years. And if you make it through that, then you get to the next market. Then you get to the 2010, 2011 market, which is more of the even market. But that's my point. Is that the more experience that your agent has, the more years they have on the road, the more markets they've been through, and they can navigate. Because if they sign a listing agreement for you for 6 months, and the market changes 3 months into the listing agreement, are they prepared to handle that or not? And some of these big teams, they try to rope you into their agreements, and they will have you sign their agreement, and you will put an upfront deposit, and they'll charge you thousands of dollars just to sign the listing agreement so they can pay for their marketing upfront, because they don't want to put anything out of their own pocket. And it keeps you locked into the agreement because you don't want to cancel now, because now you've already paid thousands of dollars and you feel guilty for terminating the agreement. I mean, all this is thought out. This is all thought out. But this is how the business works. It's how it works. And I know I'm going to get people mad at me for this. But this is what the consumers need to know. This is the way the business works. And I'm really just trying to educate them so they make the right decision on who they want to hire in terms of a real estate agent. Do you want to hire an agent that is doing the right thing, that might be an individual agent, that might have 20 years in the business, or do you want to go with the big mega team that might be sending you to all the people that pay them thousands of dollars every month, and not forcing you, but strongly encouraging you to use their lenders and title and everybody else that's part of their team. Just wake up. Just pay attention, and just be very careful. When you get online and you start looking for stuff. And the other thing is with online, when you Google somebody or you look for something like, a certain like real estate agents, and I'll say in Perry Hall, because that's where I am. You Google real estate agents in Perry Hall, and I don't even know what pops up yet, because I haven't pulled it up. But if it pops up and there's agents and there's people that are there and it says sponsored next to their little ad on Google or whatever, that's an actual ad. That's an advertisement. They're paying for that to be there. So it doesn't mean they're the best agent. And just because they have 150 reviews that they could have done themselves doesn't mean that they're the best agent in the world. I'm just saying. So take it for what it's worth. Let's see. And then the other question to ask is, are you full-time or are you part-time? That is big. That is big. And I'm not saying all part-time agents are bad. You just need to know what you're dealing with. If you're a first-time home buyer and your agent's got another full-time job. I mean, look, some agents in today's world, they had to go get another job because they can't do it yet because the market's not back yet. And they'll be back, and when the market picks up and stuff, whatever. But some of them had to go get another job. But be honest, if you're working another job, just be honest. Yeah, I'm working another job, but I'm still here and dedicated for real estate. Because believe it or not, sometimes people do have a full-time job that allows them the flexibility to be able to sell real estate part-time. So it does work both ways. And then finally, at the end of the day, I would say just go with your gut. Talk to somebody. Go with somebody you feel good about. Go with somebody that has the same values that you do. And somebody that you feel possesses the right wisdom and knowledge to get you whatever your goal is. Whether it's the best price for the least amount of money out of your pocket, the best price with a big, huge grant from a lender that gives you a bunch of money that you don't have to come to the table with a lot of money, or whether you're a seller and you just want to get as much money as you possibly can, or whether you're a seller and you just want to sell your property for the fastest time that you can, because there's different price ranges for that. Everything kind of depends on everything else. So I don't want to really continue this. I just think the point's been across. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you all found something in here that is just was like, wow, I never knew that, because it happened. This is how it works. It's like a pay to play. I mean, it's shocking, but it's the way the business works, unfortunately, because I really do think that it needs to be disclosed to consumers if you're going to be doing that. So, in a much bigger way than a small sentence in a listing agreement. My affiliated business partner is this. Almost like a verbal. So, anyway, that's my 2 cents. Have a great day, and God bless everybody.